All right, good evening, cyber friends. It's the Minuteman coming at you again. Walk Studio back in Studio B. We always say and we mean what we say that we give God the glory and all the praise for life, health, and strength. Thank you for each and every one of you, your cyber friends. You know who you are. Um, you see the title of the video, Double Duty Tuesday. I said this for a reason, people, because if the Lord will on tomorrow, that comes up to bring up uh, double duty with me as far as Bible study. I have Bible study with my home church on the phone. Call in tomorrow at 6, as well as my own personal Bible study at 11 on Blog Talk Radio at 11 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time. And we just look. We always like to come and just remind to the one that really want to know. I do these little old bitty short videos to kind of keep y'all adept to what's going on, and to sort of like a reminder, just in case. I mean, I know I don't do it for a whole lot of people, but I do it for just a few that will be diligent. I would do it if it wasn't for just one. I would still do the same thing. I was sitting here today, this evening rather, and my mind went back to the 80s again. Like I told y'all, the 80s were and I consider the 80s were my decade. That was the time when I went to college, and both of the colleges I went to during the 80s, Andrew College, and I left there in '84. Then I went to Berry, stayed there until about '88 before I went on down in Atlanta. Stayed a while, and then I ended up in the military. But nevertheless, I my mind got back on two of in which I consider two of the baddest producers of the 20th century. Two of the baddest producers. Now, I didn't say anything but what I'm saying, and y'all. I said two of the baddest producers that I know of in the 20th century. Two of them, and that was Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. I mean, you can't take nothing away from them brothers. Not one doggone thing. They was off the chain. They were off the chain, and I believe still are. I just, I don't know. I haven't heard anything recently from the fellas. I mean, now, good God, y'all, you got to realize now, back in the 80s, and here it is now, 2021. That's some 40-some years, y'all. That was a long time. I hate to say it because that gives away my age, but I don't care about my age. You can know my age all you want to. It's fine because those fellows were off the chain. They did some great records, and those some great producers, in my opinion. Just like L.A. Reid and Babyface, you know what I'm saying. These cats was off the chain. They are off the chain. And I was thinking about them, and I thought about it when I thought about my double duty as the Bible study. Now, I take my work just as serious. I take Bible study just as serious as those guys take music producing very serious. Now I know y'all that y'all say, "Well, man, I thought you was a music producer." I am, y'all, but not one to that caliber. In other words, I Bible study in the Word of God is first with me. It is first with me. Now that doesn't mean now that I don't have other things that I enjoy doing, because I do. I love music, y'all, period. I listen to all types of music. I just don't listen to quartet music. I just don't listen to just your regular run of the mill gospel. I know some of you might think that, but I'm human as well. I mean, I am very, very human, and I came up in the old school, and I love good music. That's what it is. I love good music, and I listen to all types. James Brown, one of my favorites. James Brown. If you ask me who my favorite artist, I know y'all probably will be surprised, and I would say James Brown. James Brown, my favorite artist. James Brown made a lot of them. It was because of James Brown and what he did that he paved the way for a lot of the bands and the musicians that came after him. They patterned themselves after James Brown. And so I give James Brown a whole lot of credit. I feel we lost James Brown too early, just as well as Ray Charles, and Michael Jackson. We had some great music guys and people that have went on and left us, and left us behind. Whitney Houston, James Ingram, all those. I mean, very, very great singers. I mean, great musicians and stuff. And I miss them all. But I just wanted to let y'all know that, man, I love like I said, my first priority is the Word of God. First priority is the Word of God. And to try to do the best I can to do what is right when it comes to the Word of God and to treat people right. But y'all know, I did a post today, earlier the night, I should say. I did a post on Facebook. And I know that some of y'all have seen it. I know I've had a few people that even commented on it already. And it just said we need to mind our own business. That's all it says, y'all. It's a very simple statement. And it's a very true statement. Because it's in the Bible, y'all. It is a commandment that we mind our own business. Now, some people may not realize that. But it's not a suggestion. It is a commandment that we mind our own business. But how is so many of us? I mean, far too many of us. We are definitely don't follow the rule when it comes to that. We are always picking in somebody else's business, day in and day out, all day and all night sometimes. If we didn't have to sleep, we'll do it 24 hours continuously if we didn't have to sleep. We are always picking and purring in somebody else's business. Y'all, we better watch ourselves. That's a commandment. That's all I'm going to say. So as I was speaking of, when I spoke of Terry Lewis and Jimmy Jam, those cats was hot in the 80s. They had a lot of artists that they worked with, a lot of artists. One of them was SOS Band. I'm quite sure some of y'all remember the SOS Band. Those of you in my age group, in the 50, 60 range, I'm quite sure you should know something about them. Sherelle and Alexander O'Neal, The Time, because these fellas came from The Time with Prince and everything, and Morris Day and everything. Those cats come up around some good stock. So that's how come I say they're good at what they'll do. Now, I didn't mean to put myself above anyone, but neither do I put myself below anyone. I told y'all that, yes, I am a music producer. I am. But I'm not the caliber that these cats fall upon. I'm not in the same category. Not by a long shot. Because of the fact that I don't do it as diligently as them fellas did it. When they was doing, and I mean, I'm quite sure now they probably still are doing it. I just haven't heard anything from Terry Lewis or Jimmy Jam. But I'm quite sure they haven't stopped. I'm quite sure they haven't stopped doing what they do, because they was very good at it. Very, very good at it. But what I'm saying is that my first cup of tea is the Word of God. And Bible study is one of them. And it always have been one of my pet peeves, the Bible study. And I love prophecy. I love prophecy. So I studied that a lot up on the Howard E. Step. And Bishop Fulton Sheen. Some of you, like I say, in my age group, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you younger, you may not. But nevertheless, I studied prophecy up under those cats. And to my opinion, and in my opinion, the old cats knew they were very, very well, they were well equipped with the Word of God when it came to prophecy. And I feel that they knew a lot. In other words, they pointed me out. They pointed to me. They pointed so many things out to me and made it so clear to me. And then when I went in depth and studied it for myself, I saw exactly what they saw. I mean, exactly what they saw. They made it clear to me. So therefore, people, we said that, like I said, y'all, you might, if you come around me anytime when I'm in my studio, you're going to hear a bunch of James Brown, a bunch of Time, a bunch of Earth, Wind, and Fire, a bunch of canned spirituals. I mix it up. I mean, you know what? I do not worry about people that try to judge me for what I do. Because, see, first of all, you're not going to judge me anyway. So I don't have to try to do anything to please and appease you all. I do things as I see fit to do them. And as long as I'm doing them in the proper spirit and in the right spirit, everything is fine. So I don't have to worry about nobody, because, see, you're not going to judge me. At the last day, God is going to be the one to judge me and judge you too. So in other words, we need to stop worrying. Like I told you today on Facebook, mind your own business. Don't worry about what I'm doing so much, but you just mind about your business, what you doing. In other words, stop trying to criticize what I'm doing and belittling what I'm doing when you ain't doing anything yourself. That's the whole idea behind this thing. So we just came and broke away to say that little bit tonight, y'all. I don't want to make it a long video. I probably made it already too long, but I just wanted to let you know that Mitty Man, I am a musician at heart. Yes, I am, but my Bible study and the Word of God is come first always. I wished I could, I wished I could do it all like Jesus did, but guess what? That wasn't but one Jesus. None of us can do it. None of us are perfect. And you might as well get with it and get with the program. But it's grace and mercy that's going to save us, y'all. Point blank. Only thing we do is get up every day and do what we can do, and then cut the deck and let God do the rest what we can't do. Because the one thing about it, God is not going to do what he assigned you to do. And you can't do what he's got to do. So you might as well go somewhere and sit down. In other words, just going to sit down somewhere and be still and let God fight your battle. Because all that effort that I'm trying to do this and I'm trying, honey, just stop trying, because you ain't going to never be able to do it. Just let Jesus be Jesus. Let Jesus be Jesus. He already done it. And you just accept the free gift. Now, I'm talking to all of y'all now. With that being said, this Mitty Man said, whatever you get into. If God ain't in it, please, ma'am, please, sir, come on out of it. Because it's going to come to nothing. Until the next video, next Bible study, whichever comes first, this is Mitty Man saying peace. Good evening.